Yeah. So I'll just have to, I can start it now.
Yeah, I already started this one as well. Great, thank you.
Let me stay here then.
Good evening. I just want to say for the record, we usually start on time, and we're waiting for one more council member to have a quorum. Okay, he should be here in a minute. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you for being here, everyone. Good evening. My name is Evangelist Maybe I'm the chair for the council. We do have a quorum, but for the record, we're going to start officially. I intend to end by in 1 hour because I know we're all very busy with the whole typhoon situation. And you know me, I get straight to the point, ask the questions, and move forward. Okay? So Betty, can you please take roll call for the record?
Madam Chair, Ms. Benjamin Escudero.
Present.
Vice Chair, Ms. Jennifer Sanchez. Member, Mr. David Camacho.
Present.
Member, Ms. Rosana Semigiontis.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have.
We have a quorum. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see all these beautiful charter school faces. Thank you for being here. I hope the typhoon, it's a reminder. It helps everybody, right? So I just want to say that for the record. Thank you for taking time out this evening. Just wanted to mention that this was publicized in the Pacific Daily News on July 1st, 2026, and again on July 7th. 2026 to include our ADA compliance and required as the open government law, okay? This is also was posted in the public notice portal on that same day on PDN. You may also follow us on our Facebook page. With that said, we're going to move on right along. Council members, if you can please review and approve for previous minutes dated back on May 20th, minutes of June 10th and June 11th, 2026, public hearing. I'll give you time to review.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move to approve.
Move to approve minutes of May 20, 2026 as presented.
That was seconded by Mr. Camacho. Would anyone like to discuss anything else? Would like to move for the vote? Okay. Okay, a motion was made and seconded. Can we show of hands to approve the meeting minutes? Thank you. Passed. We're going into old business. As you know, we have no old business. We accomplished everything. So we're going to move into the new business, which is the petition of Magalahi Harao Chamorro Catholic Charter School to include 7th, 8th, and 9th grade levels with fiscal year 2020, school year 2026-2027. We have the public hearing as required and mandated by law. Everyone that showed up provided email testimonies, provided it to Ms. Felly for our records. All were in support of this, increasing this for Magalahi Harao. Now with this, please keep in mind that we're going through the budget hearing. Everyone pay attention. There is a public hearing going on with the budget with regards to charter school. We all were there, the leaders of each of the 7 charter schools to include the council. And we came in defense, justification of our student achievement, justification of what we're doing well. And we do have our hiccups, but we're doing things right, okay? We've met all the mandates under our charter school law of Guam and the mandates of meeting our requirement. It is important that each and every one of you pay attention. I don't care who you vote for, pay attention to the issues. Listen and look at who's voting to keep it 7-8. When we justify for 8-3, we're asking for equality. Your students that go to your school are students of Guam. They live here. We have this notion that charter school students are different. They're not different. Their parents they work here, they live here. We reside here. We serve the same time. They just decide to go with a school of choice, to the charters, pay attention, because I'm now listening, and it looks like they may not pass at 7-8. And if that is so, we need to really rethink this. Pay attention to the votes, because they matter. And it's not a threat, it's a fact. I know, I don't want to be a senator because it's a tough thing to decide when it comes to the budget. Who's going to get a piece of the pie, who's going to get more? But everybody always says education is their priority when they run for election. Education, safety, whatever it may be. Now, put your foot to the fire. We're going to pay attention to the budget. Listen tomorrow. I think it continues at 10 o'clock in the morning. Am I correct? Pay attention. Because if it's at 7-8, then it's a battle we're going to go with. I, as your chair, is going to fight for this. It's only right. And you know who you are. If you were a charter school that didn't follow the rules, I was not kind with you. And it wasn't personal. Not one bit. I always tell you, we have to reprimand your school, it's because it needed to be done so we can correct the wrong, right? And everyone, you turn in your documents, you get paid. Nowhere else do they do that, like I mentioned to the legislature. Nowhere else in the government of Guam do they do that. We're treated, actually, we're outcasted if you really think about it, because we're treated differently. We have to turn in 9, 10, 11, 12, and guess what? All the way to 20. And a lot of agencies only turn 1 to 10. So there is a big disparity here. I'm saying today and tomorrow, listen. Listen to the Guam legislature and the budget. It's very important to know this. It's election year and everybody wants to run for office. I applaud them. But today is the day when we're going to find out if we stick with 7-8. My job as your chair is not to worry about the budget. Let the legislature deal with that. My job as the chair of the council, to include these wonderful people up here, is to fight for the charter. When we took an oath for the charter, not to have to worry about the legislature. So I'm sitting here before you, and I'm saying it firmly. Pay attention. This is very critical. If the council approves these things, you need to come prepared. And not come to me in September and tell me, oh my God, we didn't plan this. Because the council's giving you the rope, the pencil, you hang yourself. This is why I say come prepared. All I'm saying is come prepared and we shall fight. Because we need the money. You come to me individually and you tell me that we need a little more money. And you know what? You're working for the amount of money that you get. You're getting appropriated. You're doing major work. You're doing it. We as a council are going to make a very critical decision tonight. And if we choose to pass it, then we're going to need each and every one of your support. And if we choose not to pass it, you've got to respect the council members up here for whatever the reason may be. Okay? And I just need to say this because it's rather intense. I've had people call me all day, WhatsApp me, and I applaud because sometimes they're my eyes and my ears. I can't do this and do this and this, so I pay attention to everything. And it's very critical that we pay attention to the issues at hand for the charters. You know, I was told today, your charters are growing too fast. Okay, growing too fast. There's a demand, there is a need. That's the question. Is there a demand? Yes. Is there a need? Yes. There's your answer. Is it growing too fast? Well, maybe the demand in the last 5 years is charters. Pro-charters, or people are looking into opening new charter schools because parents want more choice. And the Republican administration, Washington DC, the President of the United States is very pro-choice education. So I didn't invent this, okay? I'm just here because I'm in the right place at the right time and we're moving forward. If anybody's gonna get credit here, it's all you 7 charter schools. Because the council can change, but you guys gotta fight for yourselves and you gotta pray and hope that your next leader is gonna do the same. So with that said, I want to tell you that this is very critical. I've shared with the council members something that this is very, very essential. So we're going to do this with Chief Magalay around. People came in and support, tremendous support for this. The only question I'm going to have for Chief Arao before I give it to any of my council members is, Chief Arao, this is my concern. My concern, and I need for you to answer this. If I decide to support you, can you assure me that we will not have any, first of all, problems with landlords? Because I inherited problems with landlords, okay? And that is not a joke, okay? Your landlord, I don't want to know who's your landlord. I just want to make sure that your landlord is not something we're going to have to worry in the next year or two, first of all, okay? Is your lease type? Meaning, did you dot your I's and cross your T's? Did you have a legal counsel look at it? Did you have someone with some expertise, an agent of a lease review it? That's my concern as the chair. And once you answer that, then my next question would be, if you don't, I suggest you do, and I'm going to give you 30 days to give this council documentation on all that, okay? That's the biggest concern I have. So, with that, I'd like someone from Chief Arao to respond.
Senior Bay Asigurala na sabi malik ko na sa iyo to see guards mami sablis muni zan in kunjusi logo e aji magahe guys muni archdiocese ko asigurala na chuka pafa guaha sabi gualo ba zan boss second month kasi in kunjusi los quantos proimo liman magay muli di majus na Malika simply wanted to, we've spoken to officials because it has come to our attention that there's some discrepancies. However, they've assured us that we will not have a problem and that those issues will be dealt with accordingly with the proper price.
Do you have this in writing?
Is that it?
Do you have this in writing?
We are waiting. We've been communicating with the Archdiocese, and we're waiting for their response to us in writing.
Okay, I'd like that in writing within 30 days. 30 calendar
We're
days.
receiving it any day now.
Yeah, okay, if you do get it within the 30 days, just please provide it, because I'd like to review that and provide it to the council for the record, okay? I just want to make sure of this again, because, you know, we've had issues of this, and the senators have basically said, to me as the chair, the lease agreements, we don't want any problems with anybody not being paid or problems with monetary. And, you know, for the record, Chief Arao and Juan Carlo had a 0 audit finding, which is amazing. And I'd like it to stay that way. So I just wanted that for the record that within 30 calendar days effective today, that the council is provided with a written documentation with regards that it will not affect Chief Arao. Okay.
Senior. Okay. Esta member on this,
Thank you. As the chair, I know that's the only question I have. Council members, do you have any other questions?
I just have one follow-up question from our last meeting. So with the addition or the request to include 7th grade in the upcoming school year. It was noted that the curriculum would be ready and set by the 30th. Is that the case?
Do they have another? Do they have another?
I know.
Do you have another?
Just with the setback of the storm, I had to give the curriculum writers a little bit of time with no electricity but we have it ready. We will be meeting Monday for the completed curriculum. Actually, July 10th tomorrow. Tomorrow is our deadline. So the completed curriculum will be done tomorrow, the reporting, and then Monday we'll have a meeting to review and edit. That's all I have, thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I actually have a question. I too was looking at the budget bill, and since we have a former senator in the audience, I'd like to go ahead and ask former Senator Castro, right? When I was looking at the budget bill, we also have a cap on per student enrollment per school and so forth. And the reason I'm asking this because it goes in line with the addition of you guys requesting for 7th, 8th, 9th graders, because especially with Morale and BTAX, your enrollment it was capped at 200. And will that overflow? So in question, so I'm kind of skipping here. And my question is, will you be able to do amendments? Will they be able to do amendments at the same time? This is just for us to review this budget bill. It's not in ink yet. But will they be able to do amendments to be able to increase that cap if needed? Because of the fact we don't want to say, yes, we're going to approve it, and then it comes out, well, we can't do it because now you're capped at 200 people, and here your 7th and 8th grade enrollment has boosted you up to another 100 students. So now I'm going to ask, with this budget bill, would that deter us from increasing? Not only, not that we can't keep them on a waiting list, but we really don't want to do that, right? We don't want to keep students on a waiting list and have them to get in. If you're kept at 200, and here you're going to get another 100, you're going to get increased around 100. Do you see where I'm going with this? Because I just wanted, your cap says 200 per school. VTech says that. Wuhan is 780. I think you guys are what, at 200 also? All right, so see now, this is why this is important, that if we can capture and have an audience with the senators about lifting the cap, that's another thing we're gonna have to adjust. Not only because they only kept it at 7,800, by the way. That's what their capping has to do with 780. But now they're also, we see that when I was reading the bill, it has the caps of how many students you have per school. For each of the schools.
Councilmember, are you asking?
Well, what I'm trying to say, I'm asking him first because it's going to affect this decision of us increasing, authorizing or agreeing to the increase of students. If you're at cap to 200 and you're telling me you have a waiting list of 80 and you have 198, well, one of the questions I asked you was 198, and just bear with me because I know I'm going back and forth on this. But do you see what I'm trying to get? If you have 198, but you're capped at 200, and you have a waiting list of 8, or you can say you have 8, then you're going to max that, right? Same thing with BTEX. I know there's a lot of students trying to get into both of your schools, by the way. I do know that. I hear with, parents and so forth. But when I was looking at the budget bill today, now my concerns are at the cap. If we authorize the increase, then do these kids stay on a waiting list for 1? Or 2, are they able to get in, and so forth, and that's another thing. So go ahead, Senator.
First of all, it's been a while since I've been doing this, it's just all right. But the short answer from my perspective is, if anything's possible for the mayor, the way it's going to be decided, the legal counsel's here, so she's trying to correct me. But the way it's all usually decided is depending on the rules that are established at the committee and then on the floor, or I Senate rules. If it's germane. But the reality is, if the political will is there by a voting majority, even in usurpation of the committee chair, anything's almost possible on the floor in session. So legal counsel could probably give you some insight on the existing standing rules and the behavior of the body. But I've been in situations where 9 times out of 10, if you have a motivator more, almost anything's possible. Chris Dominguez, as the committee chair, could motion himself and justify the germaneness. The real question is, can he find the money? So, from my perspective, if the political will is there, anything's possible. What you're really asking is, can they adjust the budget to fit the adjustment in the cap?
Yes.
The cap,
Yes.
of course they can.
Right.
And it's easy for me to say it from here. I'm recording this. And again, this is not versus DOE, as Mike always mentions.
Yes.
But Chief DOE, as an example, has an unexpended, unencumbered cash balance of 70+ million. The chair, for example, can use his discretion to say, we're gonna wait against that and appropriate 3/4 of the budget, notwithstanding that money, that cash balance, and then give these charters the opportunity to expand. I mean, that's what the argument could be, but it's ultimately usually in a disciplined majority, usually the driving force is going to be the committee chair. Now, in terms of the standing rules, it's been a while, Mayor. I don't know, do you have anything to add to changes, substantive changes to existing bills? You want to give substance to the whole bill, I understand. So there is a term, Mayor, sorry, this is not a political, but we're going for real.
No, it's not.
Yes, so this one
I
is a
want to
political
make sure.
answer. The real, and this is a legitimate response. A senator can technically say, notwithstanding the House rules, and introduce a measure, whether it's in the form of an amendment or an entire substitute bill, as long as he or she has 7 more votes, including the person moving, to make anything happen in the body. So it's kind of quirky like that. It's not supposed to be that way. But this is one of those instances where you want it to be that way, where your champion can say, notwithstanding the House rules, Mr. Speaker, I hereby elect to substitute, in full, this bill, which takes into consideration the per capita. Now, as the chair is saying, even if they increase your per capita, your cap, the per capita is the amount of money per student, the cap is how many students you have. They can increase your cap, but not touch the budget. There's a big difference. We've seen that, Mr. Chair. So, the wish is that whoever's championing the charters can do both the 7,800 to 83, as we all agree. That's the marching order that we rallied behind, the chair behind you guys, the whole council, from 78 to 83. And I've got assurances that is looking really good. That's why I was confused. I don't know how to decipher what I'm hearing tonight about it. But also the caps. We're growing. They're weightless. And I agree with you. I mean, we could go on about it. The short answer is yes, it's possible.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, is because I know you work so hard to push for the amount to go up to 8,300, and I just want to let you know, from the bill that I saw today that went through my desk, it is at 7,800. And the caps of the enrollments stay as is. And so now I'm concerned if we need to go back as a whole, not just for the chair to go up there, but as a whole group here, including parents and so forth, and push them. I'm not sure if they're having a public hearing on it. They're not saying they're having a public hearing, but I'm sure that if we get enough push on this issue, we might be able to move it forward to what we needed. And obviously, from the bill that I saw, we're still at 7,800. I did not see any increase on it at all. As fact, no increase on the cap for the amount, and there was no increase also in the cap. They know they're growing. So and that's my increase. So my concern, and I'm sorry, Anne, the reason I had to go back on this is because if I see a bill such as, and here you are asking us to approve an increase in your enrollment, allowing you to have the middle school and so forth, and high schools and so forth. I, as a council member, have no part of that. I just don't want to be responsible and say, yes, let's approve it, but yet, how are you going to do it? How are you going to be able to handle it with 1, no funding, and 2, no raising the cap? Okay, so that, yes.
Thank you. Okay, for me to answer that, it's way above our pay scale. And my pay scale is to fight. And if we approve this tonight as a council, we can move forward to the council approve it, we did our job. You senators, 15 of you, shame on you if you don't support it. That's why I said before this meeting started, pay attention in the next few days. Listen, look who's voting, who is supporting. Just so you answer, council member, I've been told by several senators will do an amendment. Be assured, I'm very hopeful and I'm an optimist. I'll fight to the end. I am not gonna sit here and what if twiddle our thumbs and say, okay, the legislature, that's way above our pay scale. We swore to fight for the charter, do what's right for the charter, and that's where we are at. And let the senators respond to that if they will support us. What we are gonna do and march until hell or high water. Senator. Do you understand that, council member?
I understand that, but from the bill that I saw the passage, I saw them do amendments on all the other different, agencies, departments, Department of Education, so forth. I did not see correction or amendments or any scratch outs and so forth that came to the funding for the charter schools and the cap of the enrollment. It stayed as is.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I'm weak, I'm not.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you.
I don't have faith in amendments
Okay.
right now, considering the fact that we need it for the beginning of the school year. You need that money at the beginning of the school year. I don't wanna wait till they decide, oh, I'm gonna wait until after we get a new grant, whatever they may come in, and then you don't have the funding, and then you're going to have what? You're gonna have problems.
Noted, council member. Noted for the record.
Noted for the record.
Yes, we're gonna move forward. Go ahead.
To affirm that if our reality really is, yes, we'll fight and we'll go as a group. And I have no doubt that they will make the right decision when we go with our numbers. However, just tonight, the reality of tonight, I really respect that you're seeing that and these are facts. So facing those facts, I would like to say that as the principal and CEO of Madalang and Corral, we are committed to sustainable growth. Even though we have 100 on our waiting list, that is just evidential of the demand of what we're offering. That doesn't mean we will do everything we can to accommodate that. However, we're very, very careful with our budgeting. As you've seen, we've had a clean audit, and also our board, our board is committed to covering for whatever it is. We're not trying to grow, and we're just trying to provide 7th grade for the 16 kids that are in the 6th grade now. So we're trying to grow very, very carefully and very sustainably. This is our first shot at Indigenous education. We're really trying to grow it slowly so that it's solid. And so with that reality, and I want to affirm you that we're not trying to open up so that it's not about the money for us, it's about the quality and growing fluent speakers. And so we're just really looking, when we say we want to extend for 7th, 8th, and 9th, we're really just looking to accommodate those kids that are growing in that pipeline currently. And if we remain at 200 and we don't get approved, our board has met and we're very committed to providing for whatever's left. If we have to provide per pupil student funding for the 16th, then we will do that. Should we not go above the legislation doesn't give us to.
Never be unapologetic.
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
in saying that, you tell me you have 198 enrolled right now,
198.
and you have 60 that you said are on the.
16 is part of the 198.
60 is part of the 198.
Yes.
Okay, but do you have a waiting list for the incoming other than for 6? So the total amount on your waiting list right now, what do you have?
50. We've accommodated everyone that we could. We were at 100 and we're down to 50. Since we've opened
So
up.
you have 50 on a waiting list, you have total 198 enrolled. So you've already exceeded your cap.
Yes. But like I said, our board is committed. Should we not get approved for our cap at 200, we're committed, and our board members are here with us. We're committed to making it happen for those families and those children to continue their Indigenous education.
Any other questions, council members?
I don't have a question. It's more like a fact. we are the charter school, prove that you are good for those people that provide us money. If you are something that is good for the entire island of Guam, it's very hard for them to deny what we need in our system. The problem is, make sure you do not have negative things, because once you get negative, whatever it might be, personal or school-wide, or, that's the reason they cut budgets, right? So do positive stuff, so they got no reason to deny amendments or budget for our services.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Yes. I'm going to pass it. I'm going to pass it, Mr. Chair. I'm with my vote. We need to move forward.
I'm not saying I'm not going to pass this, I just would like to have a discussion among ourselves.
Then do I have to go into executive order? Because we can't,
Okay, do we have our legal counsel?
no, we don't. Our legal counsel is the attorney general, the AG. Do you want to go into executive session?
It's not that I don't want to pass it.
Okay.
I have
Do you want to?
legal-
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather.
Okay. So we're going to go into executive session. Unfortunately, I'm going to ask at least for 15 minutes. If everyone can please step out, and document the executive session and the time, please. Just for 10 minutes, please.
What's for you? Thank you. And then we'll do it again. Thanks.